Hello. Let's see. I hope notifications went out. I really do. All right. I'm starting to boil. Will be like a hard-boiled egg in a minute. Hello, everybody.
I went to the dog is raw.
Did anybody get a? Oh yeah. Did y'all get notifications tonight? All right, so notifications went out good. All right, I'm gonna wait for a few people to get in here, but you know, we can jibber jabber until we get some people in here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up while you come in, folks. It'd be highly appreciated. You know.
Hello, everybody.
It's been an interesting day. It's been actually, it was as y'all know, it was a very hard month in June for us. But, you know, that's, June's over. We're now in July. But we do have some interesting stuff to talk about. I'm hoping we get a lot of people in here because the homicide that I'm going to talk about
hits close to home.
Hits extremely close to home. Oh, Amber Bell, don't even. Yeah, July. July started off good too. It was kind of. I'm not to laugh, but you know, I was so happy that June was over. And then, trust me, I love my landlord. He's a really cool dude. But the owner of the property, he manages the house that we lease right now. And the owner of the property notified him that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you keep turning me off. Turn yours off here. I'll take it all over this way.
Well, no, it's because of them back there.
No, it's hot,
You
babe.
freeze them.
But the landlord called us and told us, oh, I'm sorry, but around January, February, March, the house is going to go up for sale. So we're going to be looking for a new house. So that's okay. No, I do not have one with the last four of 1078. I have 661-456-6978. That is a number I give out. Go and share it on Facebook.
We don't do that.
But I'm hoping more people come on in here, you know. I'm going to share it over to Facebook real quick. The homicide that I'm going to be talking about, we were told by Honolulu Police Department that it was suicide. There was no suicide. Well, I will see, BB. I will see if we can do it on both. You know, I'll see if we can do it on YouTube also. But I know I'm definitely going to do it on Facebook. But the person they said committed suicide was my brother Robert Wallace. He was in the Army, located in Hawaii. And from I was living over there for a while with my brother in Hawaii, you know. And after I left, we wound up getting a call where they stated that, you know, my brother committed suicide. They said what happened was he was out jogging in the jungle at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And Honolulu PD said they received a phone call about a man urinating in the jungle by a couple of high school girls. Okay. So they appeared and they wound up, when they arrived there, it stated they slammed my brother face first into the hood of a car. My brother was military. He was trained to kill. You know, and when they slammed him face first, he wound up in hand-to-hand combat with them. They wound up taking him to jail. And knowing he's military, as almost everybody in the world knows, if you're in the military, you go to jail, especially if you go to jail for an act of violence. They are not allowed to release you unless they release you to a sergeant or the MPs or something from the military. Well, they supposedly released him on his own. Supposedly he got his truck out of impound. You know, and their story doesn't match up, you know. Every military man wears a set of dog tags around his neck. They said that he went out into the, after he was released, they said he got his truck and he went out and, you know, they said that he went out in the ocean and he committed suicide. Well, the last thing that he bought was he bought 2 packs of cigarettes. So right before he committed suicide, supposedly, he bought 2 packs of cigarettes. That makes no sense. But they said he went in the water and he committed suicide. I don't believe it for one reason. His dog tags had 0 sand, 0 water. The only thing that was in between those was his blood. So the dog tags are dry except for blood. Hold on a second, folks. I'm gonna mute for a second.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. We had to get the order out. And anyways, so when my other brother showed up in Hawaii and they went to the place to pick up the truck, they were questioning my brother why he hadn't been there to get the truck out of impound when he was supposed to pick it up a week earlier. So what happened was law enforcement took his truck and took it out of impound to the beach where my brother was found dead with what they say was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, which there was no way possible that he could have done what they said. There's no way whatsoever. But my father was very high profile. My father had many top secret clearances. And I told my father that I would not open the investigation until after he was gone, so my father was safe. And now I'm going to open a full investigation into Honolulu Police Department and all the officers. There were 7 officers involved. And I also, and at this point, the supposed females that would have been high schoolers are definitely not high schoolers anymore. This happened in 1993. Thank God that there is no time frame for filing murder charges on anybody. And my brother was actually pretty well decorated, you know, in the military. They flew his platoon out here from Hawaii. You know, usually there's like a $5,000 cap on services. They flew his platoon out here, and the procession went from Chatsworth to Riverside National Cemetery. Where, you know, he had a highly honorable services, which, I mean, for a suicide, they would not do that, sorry. But I'm going to be contacting Honolulu PD. I'm going to contact the district attorney's office out there. And I'm also going to contact the United States Army because he was stationed there. I think it was Schofield. And there were too many different stories about what happened. And I want to know who murdered our brother. He did not commit suicide. The military did not investigate it. And it's kind of interesting because the whole situation, it doesn't play out. You know, there's something wrong. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I was trying to push it out because I zoomed it in. There you go. Or, sorry about that.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Sorry about that.
But the military, you know, they understood also what, you know, they knew who my father was. Doug says, hello, Apple.
Hi, Doug. How are you?
But I want answers now. I want to know what happened. I want to know why I'm pretty sure I know why. Because this sounds really horrible, but it was a white military man in a Hawaiian area, and he fought back and was arrested and released when he shouldn't have been released. His truck was impounded. It was released and not released to him.
Hello, baby.
You know, there's a lot of bad juju in the whole... Uh-oh. Where's the bubble? But the truth really needs to come out in regards to it. Hold on a second, folks. It's gonna be empty in a second.
No, Doug, he's not talking Pearl Harbor.
Well, Pearl Harbor is very close.
It's, yeah, very close, but...
High-Low, Sunset Beach.
He's talking about the investigation to his brothers.
Yeah, my brother was, I think it was Schofield, if I'm correct, is right there, because I was living in Mililani with him for a while, and I was working out there doing video work, and then I moved back, and a short time after this happened, and it it was like they thought they covered it up, but what they didn't know is I actually knew people from living there also.
Hello, Christina.
That word was going around Honolulu, Waikiki, Mililani, that it was not suicide. It was a murder by Honolulu police officers. And, you know, it's had me for so many years due to the fact that they had it as a suicide. And not only that, I know his fiance at the time went into hiding. And the other part about that, when she disappeared, I know I have a nephew out there from my brother Robert.
I had 2 cheeseburgers, the 3 fries, the Coke, the root beer, and the small Coke. Are you supposed to be 1949?
The weapon was a pistol.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Did you want a receipt?
No, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
This is definitely not a joke. This is about my brother that was murdered by Honolulu Police Department. You know, at the time, we weren't even given the information to the officers that were on scene. All we know is they broke multiple laws. And I know, I saw that. Yeah, I know, it's very slow. This is, I mean, I don't know. I don't think YouTube is sending out to all. I think they're only sending out to a very small amount of people. But this is definitely one of the cases that I'm going to be working now.
Do you have the 2 cheeseburgers?
Yes.
Alright. Any ketchup?
Yes, please.
We're just waiting on the fries.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
And then I have your Coke here and the small Coke here.
Thank you very much. There you go.
It's rough.
Let's put these in. My baby fell asleep.
Oh, my baby Bubba back here fell asleep.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you.
Rob dog.
He's asleep, honey.
Rob.
Baby.
Knocked
He's
out.
knocked out.
It's got to go in his thing.
You're gonna have to give me a second here. Or put it on the other side.
He's got another one there.
No, that's the one from your brother's. Put it on the other side.
And it was empty.
Well, he made it empty.
No, it was empty.
Oh. Okay, well,
Well, there we go. And there's something in there. Hold on. Really, Rob,
here,
what do you
just
got in there?
go ahead.
All right, give me a second, folks. I'm almost back. I'm stretching my arm that I shouldn't be stretching. Oh my God.
Vic, can you grab it? 'Cause
I got it.
it's
I
gonna
got it. I got
fall.
it. Apple almost dumped our sodas in our lap just now.
Sorry, well, I was trying to make room.
You better just park so we can.
Here, there. Holy Lord, have mercy.
Yeah, here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so. So, no, I don't trust Honolulu PD. Yeah, what the? Ooh. Ooh. That was greasy.
Go ahead, look at it.
Oh, no, it's okay. I understand. I was just asking. Oh, you could have pulled in here and aimed.
Well, I need to pull in here in any gas.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
But
That gives you enough time.
the fact that, I'm sure one thing is
Jesus loves you.
the officers that did this, they probably are sitting at home thinking, we got away with murder. Well, I'm going to guess that what this is going to do is this investigation is going to wind up sending at least a few, if not 7 officers to prison for murder and corruption because they actually killed a military man. It's been tearing at me for a long time to get to be able to do this. We will find out pretty soon, Nana, who's active in regards to the case. It's on the dash, it's push button. And if they are active, I'm sure once the investigation starts, they won't be active for long. And the one thing that I definitely will go after, if any of them are receiving pensions, I will make sure that goes bye-bye.
Can you move those aside?
This case was many, many years ago. It goes back to 1993. But, you know, murder, it doesn't matter how long ago it was. You can't, you know, if evidence comes out, I don't know where the mods are tonight.
Sleeping.
I can't even think of what they call it in regards to the time frame. There's no you know, oh my Lord, what is that again, folks? And I think the other thing, yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't even think about that, and I use it all the time. There is no statute of limitation on sex crimes or on murder. And the other thing that I think we should actually also do is go for damages. You know, go after their assets. They took a brother, uncle, military man. And I think you know, it's time for them to pay. You know, I promised my dad that I would not do it until he passed, so he wasn't having to look over his shoulder while he went after a law enforcement entity. See, the weird thing is my father has never been arrested, never been to jail, you know. But what he was worried about was what he called the biggest gang in the world. And the biggest gang in the world was dirty law enforcement officers. Not that all, he wasn't saying all, but you know, I mean, now, I mean, it's here's a pretty basic question. If somebody had dog tags on, okay, and they supposedly walked out into the ocean and committed suicide, okay, if they were in the ocean, you would expect those dog tags to have water, sand, etc. The only thing that those dog tags have, and I say have because we have custody of those dog tags, which are going to be the number one piece of evidence to go against them. Those dog tags, the only thing they have is they have my brother Robert's blood in between them with no sand, no water, no salt. So that means he was killed. They removed his dog tags and then put him in the ocean. And that right there is premeditated homicide. What's wrong in here? Is there somebody in here doing something stupid? Uh-oh, okay, we're back, I hope. But you know how dog tags come, and if there's, they put the rubber around them, the little rubber casing around them. Well, they were both in there. His blood was in between. There was no salt water, no sand, and they came up with a story about how his truck got to the beach. But the documentation was not signed. So how in the world did they release his truck? They released it to the police department. Are we okay now, folks? Or are we not? If we're okay, hit the 1, please. Definitely broken chain of custody. The first thing was they slammed his, okay, where are these individuals they called in at 3 o'clock in the morning that were high school girls? Why were high school girls in the jungle at 3 a.m. where they said they saw a man urinating? Next, why did they slam him face first into the hood? That's not a smart thing to do to a military man, Then they arrested him. They released him without releasing him to the military, which is mandatory. They released his vehicle, not to him, to somebody else, apparently. There's just way, way too many things. And, it's time to get answers. It's time to shake, as I call it, the hornet's nest. And I know, because I lived there for a while, I know how dirty some of the players are at Honolulu PD. They're some of the dirtiest ones around. I can't really add anybody right now on as a mod, but there's way too many red flags. Yesterday in Palmdale was a shooting. The original call came out yesterday in Palmdale as a man was shot in the leg. Once emergency personnel and law enforcement were there, it was then stated that he was shot in the abdomen. Hello, Shay. I just want to get to the bottom of it. And, you know, like with any other case, hey, anybody that was involved needs to be prosecuted. Anybody that covered something up in regards to it needs to be prosecuted. And I hope that once we pull this out and start actually doing the investigation on it, I hope that the United States Army gets involved and opens a federal investigation into the homicide of one of their highly decorated personnel. When this happened, he had a baby on the way, and she went into hiding. We have not heard from her since. We don't know if she went back to another country, but you know, I really hope that now the military will take a peek into this. And, you know, let's throw some people in jail that deserve to be there. My feeling is, and it's been this way since day one, is their phone call, the 911 call, you know, they need to bring that up too. And because I honestly don't think there was a 911 call in regards to this. The man was my brother, my oldest brother. You know, I during the time period that I lived in Mililani, I was working shows over at the Outrigger Reef and the convention centers and stuff out there. Oh yeah, everything will still be there. you know, they wanted to close it out as a suicide because that was the easiest way for them. But they made a lot of mistakes. I mean, when my brother and his wife got to Hawaii, they yelled at them, asking them why it took them so long when they were supposed to be there a week earlier to pick up the truck from the impound yard. A week earlier. Huh. So their time frames are off. I was told by an individual in regards to the case, you know, that I knew out there. I'm not going to throw them under the bus or anything, but I will be speaking with them again. But they had told me that the word going around Hawaii, Honolulu, Waikiki, through the police department was that my brother's gun was also on the sand dry. And that really makes no sense because they said he went in the water, remember? His dog tags were dry. The only thing in his dog tags were blood in between with no water, no sand. But they said that he walked out into the ocean. Bullshit. Excuse my French, people, but bullshit. It was not suicide. My gut feeling, because of all the BS, is it was covered and it was a homicide done by multiple Honolulu police officers. In my understanding, there were 7 of them on scene. So hopefully we'll wind up seeing 7 of them go to prison. Yeah, that's the thing too. My brother wanted a baby so bad. And then for them to say that he committed suicide when he had a baby on the way? No. No. No, no, no. And the song that was when the truck, my brother's truck was turned on.
Hello, Ross.
Was Queen and it was jacked up because the song that started playing was Mama, I Put a Gun Against a Man's Head and Now He's Gone. That's not a suicide song. That's somebody saying they killed somebody. And that's what song was on when the key was turned on. You know, all the time frames are bad. They're all bad. Everything's bad. You know, none of it makes sense. I'm gonna guess there's at least 7 dirty cops that were involved in my brother's homicide. Well, one thing I do know, my brother was a redneck of rednecks. He never did a drug in his life. So I know he wasn't doing that. But that is what's coming up very soon. I will be working that. We're also, it's time, I mean, it's a new month. It's time to find out, about a lot of things. I'm going to be working that one. I'm going to be working the boys' case. I'm going to hopefully shed some light on a homicide that was committed 1 year ago on July 8th. 1 year ago. On Avenue K, where a man's life was taken. And, it was bad enough. The man was fighting stage 4 cancer, that somebody, I think it was probably maybe a botched robbery, or just somebody, excuse my French, being an asshole. And they wound up hitting him. The man had stage 4 cancer. He wound up dying. And the people are still on the streets that did it. And then the other thing is the family, they're not a wealthy family. And there was another part of the family from out of state that did a fundraiser on GoFundMe. And the family out in the money for what it was used for. They used it on their personal gain. So the man has no headstone. And I'm gonna do what I can. Headstone for this man. This is another man that was murdered. And we're also, anybody interested, we're taking donations, monetary donations. We're taking backpack donations. They gotta be new. We are taking school supply donations. It's through Sophia Elizabeth Foundation, AV News Crew, Victory Outreach, awesome place. Hey. All right, so let's go back. Yes, he was in the military. No, this is a different person. I don't know. No, this other guy, I don't think he was in the military. My brother was in the military. He's got his headstone. He's buried at Riverside National. May he rest in peace, Robert. But the other gentleman, no, he was not military. So we're going to try and raise some money to get him a headstone, since the other part of his family stole the money that should have been for a headstone. It's truly sad, because it's out-of-state family, when the local family here, about that. But we're doing the backpack event with Grace Reese, Victory Outreach, Victory Outreach, Sophia Elizabeth Foundation, AV News Crew is going to be involved. A drop-off location will be 4 Points Swap Meet. If you bring a new backpack, you will get in for free. Another drop-off location will be in Lancaster. Will be AV Retro on Lancaster Boulevard. You can contact us. We can put you all in touch. But yes, it's been very, very interesting for us. I gotta tell you, it doesn't get easier when you're dealing with the death of somebody. But what made it really, really hard for me was the fact that every time I went to Riverside National since he was buried, I knew he didn't commit suicide. I knew that he was murdered. We've known this whole time. And we've held on to the evidence this whole time. And I will say this for the people that are involved in it. Man, I really hope that you ask God for forgiveness and come forward about what you actually did, because hell is not a good place. Oh, Amber Hill, anything helps. And what I started to talk about also was at Victory Outreach, where it's going to be done on July 31st. There's a lot of games set up, okay? And the kids, they get to pick all the kids will get their, it's usually they'll get a raffle ticket, which gets them a backpack. And then they get to go around and play games. In all the games they play, they win school supplies. So it's not that they're just going to go there and be given this backpack with school supplies in it. No, they get to go there, they get to pick out their backpack. Not only do they get to pick out their backpack, but then they get to have an awesome day, and they get to play all these awesome games where they win their school supplies. I mean, we never had anything like that growing up, but I'm sure glad the kids do now. And we will be gearing up pretty soon, folks. We used to serve hot meals at Jane Reynolds Park. Well, we can't do it at Jane Reynolds Park anymore. They pulled all the benches. There are no more benches at Jane Reynolds Park. So, for volunteering, call Victory Outreach in Palmdale, and they will give you all the information that's needed. But we will be gearing up to start serving hot meals again pretty soon. But we will be doing it in Palmdale. And it looks like the location we will be doing that will also be the same location that we sometimes do large food distributions at, and that will be 4 Point Swap Meet. And it was actually, another thing, off of the negative right now, another thing that was really cool was Mr. Urbina with Sophie Elizabeth Foundation, which I'm actually a large part of, so is my beautiful wife and quite a few other people, but he went into Staples to buy some supplies, and he wound up talking to them because, he had to ring. He had to ring multiple transactions, so he was holding up the line, to get the stuff that he needed to pick up that day. So he was holding up the line while management came over and talked to him, and they wound up speaking. The guy explained, Mr. Urbina explained to the management about what he was dealing with. And he went into the fact, to tell them, that what he was doing. And the management asked him, oh, this is the one that AB News Crew in EAD is working in conjunction with, correct? And they started talking more, and he said yes. And so, since he, pulled that together, they wound up donating 60 boxes of school supplies. Which is way cool. I like that. That made me feel better. I will post it in our community. I will post the flyer and everything and information where y'all can get a hold of the big shots. And we'll have all that information for y'all. But it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm just getting home. It's been a long day. And, all of our mods are hiding tonight. I think that's kind of odd that YouTube didn't notify any of the mods that we were live, but they notified you guys. But it's okay. And anybody that needs to ever get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us at abnewscrew@yahoo.com.
Definitely ready for bedtime, BB.
Or you can contact us by text or phone at 661-456-6978. That's 661-456-6978. And the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to put together another prayer ride from Antelope Valley, Harley-Davidson, and Lancaster. I know we're definitely going to make it from there to Cal City, and we're going to see if maybe we can make it from Cal City out to Bakersfield. But I know we'll definitely make it into Cal City, and we'll hold a prayer in front of the house again. Hey, yeah, I mean, look at this group, folks. Everybody in this group is amazing. And we don't even have any mods in here. And we have no drama. That's what I love. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. In the next few days, I'm going to let y'all know, too, we should have another Crown Vic. This one, I think I'm going to put a cage in it in case Apple gets out of hand. I can put her in the back. I wouldn't do that to my beautiful wife. Not more than once, at least. No, I love my beautiful wife. But I'm sure what the heck? Oh, nice. Oh, that's that one that comes out of the desert. But I'm sure y'all can see where we're going. We're getting really close to home. Hey, for anybody coming on, the homicide we're talking about is from 1993. It was my brother that was murdered by Honolulu PD, and they tried saying that it was actually a suicide, and there's no way or form that it could have been possibly. But oh, hi, I'm Victorious. You came in late, I'm sorry. But we will discuss this again tomorrow. But I am so... Was that work? But I am so tired, and I got to help carry the kids in. But we will be discussing tomorrow. Love you all. Everybody have a blessed night. God bless you all. My brother's name was Robert Edmund Wallace. Robert Edmund Wallace. He was born in England and murdered in Hawaii. God bless you all. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a blessed night. We are home, and I got to get out and get some kids. God bless everybody. Thank you.